Here we are. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing something really, really new. I've never done this before, but I've decided to start interviewing people that represent what I feel like align with Blossom and Rise, my business and my brand. And that includes mind, body, heart, and soul and spirit. Yeah. So today I have Kim from PlantVIBEration. I found her on the TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah, she's an herbalist. And so I feel like she aligns with, again, my brand. So I asked her to come on. And after I ordered some stuff from her, so I did try it. And I was like, yes, I'm going to bring her on. So today I'm going to introduce you guys to Kim. And I have some questions for Kim, and we'll just go from there.
Yes. How everybody doing?
Yeah, blossoming souls. Like normally I talk about conscious relationships like twin flame, karmic, or soulmates. But I want it to be more like inclusive.
Yes.
Because if you're on that journey, then that means you're spiritually aware. And if you're spiritually aware, then other things in your life is going to change.
Yes, I totally agree. Yes.
My counterpart is always talking about like, I don't want to eat meat anymore. Or, I want to eat more plant-based, and we shouldn't go to the doctor. And I'm just like, dude, like, hold on.
Hey, at least he's on the right path, man. It's so hard to get males to really get serious about their health, man. It can be, they're very more logical than they could be spiritual sometimes, right? So that's good that he thinks like that for sure. That is.
So I'm trying to get into it. So the reason why I reached out to Kim was because I have PMDD, which is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And it's a hormonal imbalance, and it's actually in the DSM-5 as a diagnosis, a mental health diagnosis. But like I have like very severe PMS. I'm on birth control that I only have a cycle every 3 months because of the symptoms are just so bad. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I need help. Like, what would you recommend? So she recommended her vibes, which were capsules and the tea. And she gave me, I'm not gonna say it right, ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha, yes, the happy.
Oh, let me tell you, that works. That works. So with the tea, I had the tea and the capsules, but for whatever reason, my last cycle wasn't as horrendous as it normally is. So I'm gonna try it in 3 months and see where I was at with that. But the happy roots, okay, it works. It works. So I'm wondering, like, how did you get into this?
Okay, so the big thing for me was everyone around me being in pain or being sick. So I definitely started off with, CBD actually. But in the state of California, it can be kind of tough, right? And so I, kind of took a break from that. But I fell in love with CBD. I was making healing oil. So I was, mixing it with other herbs besides just CBD. And it was doing real well for people. And so after that, I just started buying more herbalism books and studied some more. And that's when I was able to, kind of create medicine. But also, I was just always been aware of people's, daily actions and emotions, and that could be the kind of the reason why they might be experiencing the pain or the sickness and things like that. So like I grew up with a mom who was like, very stressed. She had to kind of overly work in her masculine energy just because she was a single mom, and she's also a Capricorn, so they can kind of fall into that. So she definitely, when she was stressed, she was coughing more in her chest, like, even when she felt lonely, her acid reflux would also start up. So I've always been able to like pay attention to like patterns of when seasons with people. So that's what really got me into making pain medicine at first. And then I was like, why should I stop there? And then I just started creating a whole bunch of other different herbal medicines. And that's really just how I kind of got into it. Definitely. Yeah. And some of my medicines have stories behind them. And then some of them I was just like, what do I see mainly, people struggling with? So that's how I got into the business for sure.
Wow. So that's leading into one of my other questions. So I'm just going to lead into that question.
Okay. Okay.
Like you had said, like you started noticing patterns. And my question was like, do you notice a correlation between like the mind, body, and spirit as far as like illness goes? And you said you do see patterns of that.
Yes, definitely. Definitely I do. So like for one of my medicines, like the happy roots, that is really like dear and personal to me because my son, he lost his father last year. So I know how grief can do, like it can be really tricky. And I just wanted the best for him, really. And I know that herb alone won't do the grief, vanish it or whatever, but it definitely could be a major tool because ashwagandha is really good on the brain, right? Giving you brain power, which when you are more in a happier state, you won't do things that create like bad habits for you or whatever. And so not only that, it also is good for gut health. So gut health is brain health. So I definitely kind of correlated those two in happy roots. That's really for my whole family, just so that grief isn't, when it sneaks up on us, we have a better time of managing it while we're working through it. Um, but yeah, I could always tell the correlations between illnesses and diseases when it comes to the mind, body, and soul, because it's almost like people don't take account or have like a maintenance on themselves, like, okay, these are cycles that are happening into my life. I'm not sure, but they just keep going on with life. Life is so fast for people. Life is so fast for people that they don't actually take the time to figure out where these illnesses are coming from. And they kind of just, rely on the doctors or rely on tests to tell them what's actually going on. But I know that there's a root cause to these illnesses that we have. Now some could be generational, and some of them could just be just the accumulation of your life, and that you're not able to find the roots of them because they won't be at the doctor's office and and they won't be from a test for sure. But yeah,
That answers my question 100%. And I 100% agree with you because I know in Native American and shamanism, they believe that we have disease because our energy or whatnot, like our chakras and whatnot, are not in alignment with each other.
right.
So then it's expressed in illness, disease.
Yes.
I'm interested to figure out what's going on with my upper respiratory system. Like I have not been able to smell in like over a week. I have constant sinus issues, constant, and asthma too.
Yes. And so do have you dealt with any grief in your life?
A lot.
Yeah. So, sometimes like, it's a saying, but sometimes it takes your breath away, right? So not only does it affect the heart, but it also affects the lungs because it's crazy. There's a lot of kids who might lose a parent or lose someone close to them that, they accumulate asthma because it was such a shock to them. So definitely when I lost my son's father, my chest started, I had chest problems for a while, but then I got heavy into elderberry and breathing exercises, to release all of that. Cause sometimes it's just stored here. So we want to make sure we're doing our breathing exercises to get it out. So anything can be definitely transferred. Like you can transfer energy all day. So yes, I would definitely maybe work on some grief healing as well. So that's breath work for sure. There's hawthorn berry, which is good for the heart, and elderberry, of course, which is good for the lungs, getting the mucus out of the lungs, and most of the time that can open you up to just healing your aura field as well. So, herbs is spiritual too. I try to tell people it's medicinal. Yes. They are definitely, yes, they definitely open up the auric field so you can, gain more healing in those areas. So yeah, I definitely experience grief with a lot of people, and that does cause mucus in the chest or not being able to breathe, like you said, not being able to smell and stuff like that. Sometimes things just we just have to sit with some things.
Yeah.
That's so
I hear that. you just keep transitioning into the next topic, and I'm here for it. It's flowing naturally. It's like, that's great, because we're talking about spirit, and you just went right into it. And I was like, yes, like there's so much more than spirituality than just being able to speak to spirit or talk about conscious relationships. Mm-hmm. There's the element of like plants.
Yes.
And how healing they really are for us. Like when I go on your page, you're so knowledgeable about the different herbs that you can use to treat different elements, different issues. And I'd be like, wow, like she knows her shit. Like she's on it. Like,
Thank you. Yes.
Yes. So how long ago did you create Plant Vibrations?
Okay, so 2 years ago is when I created it, but it was the start of my CBD business. It was, I was doing actually vegan edibles with CBD, and I also had some with THC too, but it was mainly a CBD business along with my CBD oil. So it was all about, transitioning your eating habits can transition your health, so that was my main goal. So it was mainly like the vibration in plants can change the vibration within you. That's like my biggest thing with my business. So about 2 years ago is when I started it, but I was in the kitchen baking different kinds of goodies and stuff like that. So I just told myself, like, I may come back to the CBD business later for sure. It's just that I think the people you can see it. COVID is happening. People's mental health is, declining, and, it's a lot of warfare out there. So I just figured it's best for me to go into this path of herbal medicine, not just limited to CBD. So that's kind of how I started rocking with that, is just edibles first, and then now I'm here with making capsules. Yes.
Yeah. So I saw videos of you actually making your capsules. Like, how long was that process for you? And is there like a herb store or like wholesale herbs place that you get your stuff from?
Yes. So where I get it from, so there's two companies, Star West Botanicals and what's the other one? I can't think of the top of my head. Star West Botanical and Frontier Co-op. So those two companies are on Amazon. They're actually one of the best companies on Amazon. And then I have two local marts that I go to here. There's one in Oakland, California, and there's another one in Richmond, California too. They have some health stores there that I also go ahead and get herbs from. But the process, oh man. So I bought a big grinder. It can crush down coffee beans and herbs and all cereal, whatever you want. So my process is pretty much picking through the herbs, making sure there's no weird stems in there, and things like looking through them, make sure it's a good bag, putting them in the grinder. Sometimes I mix up the herbs, put in the grinder, or sometimes they're individually grinded. So I grind them down, I shift them. And then if I'm ready to encapsulate them, I've definitely put them in my filler, do that whole process. It could take some time. So I definitely, oh man, when I first started out, I had like a 24 filler packer, and I was about to do my first event. It took me like accumulation of 14 hours doing only 30 bags. Okay. Only. I had my poor son helping me. He's tired, but we pulled it off. So I was finally able to transition into getting my 400 pill packer, which is like, it does wonders. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. Because they don't just sell those packers at the store. You gotta I actually bought it off Etsy, so that was a good thing. Yeah, okay. I was definitely able to get that off Etsy. So now it doesn't take me 14 hours to do 10 bags, but it still takes me quite a bit of time. But once I got a system in place, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty efficient, pretty awesome. I started off though with tinctures, and then I was like, you know what? I'm ready to not have an expiration date on my stuff and
Yeah.
to give people whole medicines and stuff like that. So I definitely transitioned to just capsules. I am though, it's about to be winter, so I'm going to be getting back into elderberry syrup and stuff like that.
Okay.
I am trying to do a elderberry recipe book, ebook actually. So I'm working on that for I'm working on that for sure, just so people can learn how to make medicine in their own home. So, they're not always dependent on the doctor, especially now, like appointments are like 2 weeks out for people, they're not being tend to like they should, or they're doing video calls for their appointments. So I want to be able to give people a chance to just go in their kitchen, make them a concoction and, be able to serve their family right at home, because that's really going to be big for people, self-efficient work, or, just being able to take care of yourself or take care of your family. It's going to be real big in the next couple of years for sure. Yeah.
We're already on that way. And like, I love how you encourage. Boom. Sorry, I was recording on my phone. I am, and I had a phone call. So anyway, I digress. Self-sufficiency, because I do that too in my sessions that I have with others, like whether it's mediumship or it's tarot, I always encourage them, hey, like you can develop a relationship with your spirit guides. You can develop a relationship with your loved ones in spirit. Like you don't, especially tarot cards, you don't always have to go to a psychic to get answers. Like listen to your intuition, And I mean, like I'm a tarot reader too, so it's like I feel like that's controversial, but it's really not. Like we have the tools that we need in all aspects, and if we don't, we can look out for help. You know what I mean? Like so. Right. That's also in alignment. Like I just love how we're just like in alignment with like our vision, and that's why I'm just like so happy that I'm interviewing for. This is like my first like I'm gonna make a playlist of like interviewing and with my brand, like I said, and it's really exciting, and I know this is your first one too.
Yes,
so
yes.
like, I love this. So you have an upcoming elderberry workbook that you're going to be, or ebook that you're creating.
Yes.
What else is up, like coming up for you?
At the moment, that is it. I do have so many ideas, but I'm trying to buckle down and make sure all of them are flowing before I get to the next one, so definitely right now it's just, getting back to the elderberry syrup to give that to the community, because kids are in school now, all the sickness is still going around, and doing chest rubs too. I'm going to be getting into that too. Some natural chest rubs for people so we can leave those Vicks and petroleum jellies alone. Yes. Yes. So leaving those alone. And then just my ebook. That's I know. So what I will be doing for the ebook is it'll be 3 offers for people. They can just either get the ebook or they can get the ebook in one selection of the recipe delivered to their house, or they can get the ebook and all the recipes in there delivered to their house. So it'll be about 6 recipes and 1 bonus recipe. So yes. So that's in the works right now. And I have so many other things, like, I want to do a vegan snack, but having in vending machines and stuff like that. So like I've been to like Vegas or just certain little vacations. They don't have much for us. There is not much for us. So I just think about little stuff like that. But later down the line, I definitely will get into that for sure. So
are you doing any pop-ups anymore?
Yes, I am. I do a lot of trap arts. I don't know if you ever heard of trap art in California or in Northern California.
No, is it just in the Bay Area?
No, it's actually, they expanded. So they do hop around state to state. So they have been, they have actually expanded really well. So I'm doing that. I've done I will be doing it's like the West Coast Greek picnic. So it's college students and I think alumni, alumni and stuff. So I'll be doing that pretty soon. There's in LA, there's this one vendor called Black on the Block. I really want to get into that. It's in Los Angeles. They have it once a month. You have to apply like in the beginning of the month and then see if you get in. And so I'm working towards getting into that too. So yes, I do work on my pop-ups. We have a Berkeley flea market out here this way, which is really good. And then there's Lake Merritt in Oakland. So I haven't gotten to Lake Merritt just yet because I focus on, trying to be more customer focused, where it's like when people go to an area to buy or, to see who is there versus the lake where everyone's just kind of chilling and laying around, we both are good, but I would say my Lake Merritt times for like softer days when I'm, not being so aggressive or not trying to sell as much, I guess.
But, I gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. Well, one of these days, hopefully I'll run into you at one of your events. Like if you ever pop up online, because I'm in Sac, so it's not that far from the Bay Area. So
yes.
I would love to meet you in person.
Yes, and I always try to find different events. I haven't seen one in Sac just yet. I know they had what was it? Was it some type of music festival? And I think I was too late on
oh yeah, that was a few months ago, I think.
Yeah, so it's certain things I do try to look for different cities and to get my name out there. So yes, definitely we should run into each other.
Absolutely. Yay. Okay. So that's all the questions that I have for you today, Kim. If you guys are interested in following her, all her contact information will be down in the description box. And I'm excited. I'm excited for your growth. I'm excited for this collaboration. And if you have any questions, comment them down below. Hit her up on social media. Check out her TikToks because they're funny and they're really good.
You're funny herbalist now. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Really appreciate you.
Bye. Oh, and if you guys like the conversation, subscribe, okay, and hit the bell button so that you're not missing out on any of my content. I'm going to try to get more regular with this. Give me time though. It's coming.
And hopefully we have another one in a couple of months. Hey, you never know.
Endless possibilities and opportunities. Okay, we manifest these things.
Yes.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.